Hello, my name is Jomar Dimas. For today's discussion, I'm going to explain about breathing apparatus, resuscitators, and lastly, rescue and escape apparatus or equipment. Escape breathing apparatus. Escape breathing apparatus is used for self-rescue from the environment that has become hazardous after entering into it. The most common example of this is in a confined spaces where there is no immediate danger from gas or oxygen deficiency, but the risk of danger remains. And so, an escape BA set is carried enabling the user to don the set of rescue themselves from hazardous environment. An escape set consists of a small compressed air cylinder either 2.0 liter or 3.0 liter in size that feeds air into paste pieces. Escape sets are usually supplied with either positive pressure close-fitting face mask or with loose-fitting hood. Regular users of full face masks will usually prefer the comfort and familiarity of close-fitting face masks, while irregular users will find the loose-fitting hood easier to don in an emergency situation. It is worth noting as well that loosely-fitting hood is accommodate users with facial hair and glasses. Self-contained breathing apparatus or compressed air breathing apparatus is used for entry into non-hazardous environment. One user we will all recognize in the fire service who use SCBA to enter areas where the smoke and noxious gases are present. But SCBA is used in many entries where there is a toxic gas or oxygen deficiency environment. A SCBA set consists of three main components: a cylinder compressor of air, a backplate that holds the cylinder and reduces the air from high pressure to medium pressure, and lastly is the face mask. Self-contained BA gives an autonomy to the user, meaning that they can move around freely as opposed to being attached to the airline. However, the disadvantage of the cylinder as relatively shortly supply, for the example of 9 liter to 200 bar cylinder, giving a usage time of 35 minutes, and also the cylinder means an increased size and therefore can hinder easy of movement through tight spaces. There are many different sizes of cylinder which can improve duration of maneuverability, but this limitation will still remain to some extent. Airline breathing apparatus. Airline breathing apparatus is where the air supply is removed from the user and they are fed compressed air via an airline. The compressed air source should deliver them air that has been air quality tested to EN 12021 and may be supplied from the cylinder bank or breathing air compressor, which may be either fixed or mobile. The airline supply the user face mask through the airline harness. An airline system often incorporates an escape cylinder which the user wears to ensure that in the event of the main air supplies failing, they have the short duration air supplies to allow to self-rescue themselves safely. Airline systems are used where to work in relatively localized and likely to be for longer duration. The main disadvantage of being attached to an airline is that it restricts easy movement and poses the risk of entanglement. However, by being attached to an airline, user can work for as long as comfortable and safe for them in the environment they are in without the requirements to refill or change the cylinder. A very good example of where an airline system is irrelevant in a tank cleaning. A large tank may take several days or even weeks to thoroughly clean, so an airline breathing apparatus may be required in this one of area long duration. Particularly, attention should be paid to selecting a suitable air supply source for the work site, and the table below gives the quick start guide. Resuscitator. A resuscitator is a device using positive pressure to inflate the lungs of an unconscious person who is not breathing in order to keep them oxygenated and alive. There are three basic types: a manual version, also known as a bag valve mask, consisting of the mask and a large hand squeezing plastic valve using ambient air or with supplement oxygen from a high pressure tank. The second type is the expired air or breath power resuscitator. The first appearance of the second type was the Brooke Air introduced in 1957. The third type is the oxygen-powered resuscitator. These are driven by pressure gas delivered by a regulator and can either be automatic or manually controlled. Lastly, rescue and escape equipment or apparatus. Number 1. Lifeboats. Lifeboats are the most basic and mandated equipment on board. They are further classified into pre-pole boats, partially covered lifeboats, and totally covered lifeboats. Abiding by the SOLAS Convention, each vessel must have enough lifeboats to secure 1.5 times the number of people on board. Totally covered lifeboats is used most commonly. They are watertight with access through hatches that can be opened from the boat side. The advantage is that they safeguard occupants from extreme temperature while allowing people to navigate from within. Number 2. Rescue boats. Rescue boats are used to rescue people from drowning near the shore or in the deep sea. Rescue boats are rigid inflatable or hybrid structure with a minimum length of 3.8 meters. They can capacitate 6 people, 5 seated and 1 lying down. The design of rescue boats allow high power capacity and hence ensure faster pace than other conventional boats. They are also equipped with all the material required to provide first aid to the person in distress. Number 3. Tripod. Tripod is a rescue tripod that provides safety anchor point for work in confined spaces, manhole, tanks, hatches, and other below works for pole arrest protection. The tripod includes two-piece integrated cable pulleys, two-piece anchor ring, as well as a PVC carrying bag. The tripod has telescopic leg and security chain, the rubber pit.